Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So I want to talk about Ryan Garcia and his move to 140, his immediate plans after his most recent performance versus Javier Fortuna. Stopped Fortuna in the 6th round, knocked him down in 3 straight rounds leading up to the stoppage. It was a really good performance, and it was a dominant performance. But I was not impressed at all, to be honest with you, because it was a performance that was expected. Javier Fortuna has always been a middle of the pack, middle of the road, average at best, maybe even below average, but I would say average at best fighter with decent athletic ability. I didn't expect, and then on top of that, Javier Fortuna is older, coming off of, he's had multiple losses in his career, been in a lot of wars. He's shop worn. He's a guy that, he's a stay busy type of guy. He's a guy that you may put an up and coming fighter in the ring with just to see, okay, can you win versus a veteran? How would you look versus a guy that has a lot of experience, in the sport of boxing? How will you look gatekeeper status? And for Ryan Garcia, in my opinion, I think he's beyond gatekeeper status. I think he's above that. And so I wasn't impressed by his performance, but I will give him credit where it's due that it was a dominant performance, as it should have been. He went out there and he did whatever he wanted to do with Javier Fortuna. And this was my first time actually seeing Ryan Garcia with Joe Goossen and really just like paying attention and breaking the shit down. And I mean, I can't say that I see a whole lot of glaring differences from, and I know it takes time when you switch trainers and when you're working on different stuff, but as of right now, I can't say that I see a whole lot of glaring differences or improvements in his game since he's gotten with Joe Goossen. So hopefully they continue to build a rapport, continue to add things to Ryan Garcia's game and just elevate his craft to another level. Because I think Ryan Garcia is a good fighter. I think he got skill. He has natural God-given ability with the hand speed, punching power. He has really good punch placement, decent accuracy. I like how he goes to the body. Ryan Garcia is a good fighter, man, and he's a dangerous guy. He got power. He got hand speed. Those two, that combination alone is always going to be dangerous. Then you couple that with the fact that he has a considerable height advantage over most of the guys in and around his weight class. So Ryan Garcia is a guy that you can't take lightly. He's a good fighter, so I will give him credit where it's due. However, he's been an underachiever up until this point. Now, he's young as hell, only 23, so I'm not expecting him to be undisputed like Devin Haney. Devin Haney did something that was unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney did something that you only see the greats do. You dig what I'm saying? He did something that most greats never accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So he's an outlier. I'm not expecting Ryan Garcia to be an outlier because that's what an outlier is. They're different from the average motherfucker that you see every day. So, so I'm not putting that type of pressure on Ryan Garcia, but I do think he's underachieved because if you look at the opportunities that he's had, it's been extremely disappointing because he had an opportunity to fight Devin Haney multiple times. Devin Haney has been calling out Ryan Garcia for years. He's been putting Ryan Garcia on Front Street for years, openly offering an opportunity to fight. Ryan Garcia has blatantly and openly declined to fight with Devin Haney. I remember Devin Haney jumped in the ring after one of Ryan Garcia's fights, and he said, "What's up? I want you next." Ryan Garcia like, "Nah, yeah, I'm still working on myself. I'm still growing. I'm not ready for that yet." And then also when Ryan Garcia fought Luke Campbell right here in Dallas, Texas at the American Airlines Center. Devin Haney and Bill Haney was in attendance at that fight. One of the few people, it was like 3,000 people in that motherfucker. Devin Haney and Bill Haney were two of the people there. And after he, got knocked down by Luke Campbell and ultimately ended up stopping Luke Campbell, at the post-fight, in the ring, the post-fight interview, he was like, Devin Haney is a good fighter, but I don't want to fight him right now. Basically, you feel me? Then he called out Tank Davis, but then Tank Davis and his team attempted to make that fight, and Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy, they did not want the fight. That was the first time. And then Ryan Garcia went on to claim that he had this mega fight brewing with Manny Pacquiao. He even went far enough to post a fake poster on his Instagram, a fake fight promo poster, like it was an official fight. Guys, promotional outfits and fighters, they really only post that shit on their page when it's official. They got a date, they got a venue. You will see the date, the venue on the marquee. Ryan Garcia posted that shit on his page, got everybody riled up, like, oh my, even though hardcore boxing fans like myself, I'm like, bro, why the fuck would Manny Pacquiao fight Ryan Garcia? Like, it don't make no sense. Manny Pacquiao can fight Errol Spence. He can fight Terrence Crawford. He can fucking fight Yordenis Ugas. Why would he fight Ryan Garcia? The whole time we questioning and wondering, like, how does this shit even make sense, right? And then it comes out that he never had a fight with Manny Pacquiao. That shit was never even a real thing. You feel what I'm saying? So, and then he also had an opportunity to fight Tank Davis again. He declined the opportunity. Ryan Garcia has been in and out of talks with potential great opponents that would legitimize his status in the game. That will let everybody know, like, okay, this kid is for real. He's ready. He the real deal. All the flash and the flare that we see on Instagram is real. But every time he's been presented with an opportunity to legitimize himself and validate himself, he always took a back door out of that. You know what I'm saying? Then he had the whole mental health situation, which I won't go into. He had a fight lined up with Jojo Diaz, another prime, really good opponent that he could have used as a stepping stone to elevate himself. And now you got mental issues. Now that shit real. You know what I'm saying? Mental health is a serious thing. So, but at the same time though, at some point you gotta ask, like, okay, is this shit real or is this guy crying wolf? Because now he's building up a reputation of a guy that doesn't keep his word, as a fighter who doesn't really want the smoke, as a fighter who doesn't want to test himself, as a fighter who doesn't want the best. He doesn't want to fight the best. He has no desire to be great or prove himself. When you have all of these examples of him taking the back door taking the back door out the building when shit get rough, when he's presented with an opportunity or a challenge, you have to question that. So now Ryan Garcia, after he defeats Javier Fortune, he had an opportunity to fight Jorge Linares, and he didn't do it. I thought that would have been a great fight, and he didn't take it. So, he beats Javier Fortune, and this is a common theme. After he wins a fight, he started calling out these dudes and calling people name out, you know what I'm saying, or right before his fight or right after. But then when the opportunity presents itself, he don't want nothing to do with it. So he's so adamant about fighting Gervonta Tank Davis right now, which I think it's a great fight. Mayweather Promotions have been wanting that fight for at least 3 to 5 years. When Ryan Garcia first came on the scene, he was like 16, 17. Now, at that time, he was young. He was young as hell, and he wasn't ready by no means. One could ask, is he even ready right now? But it's time. It's time for you to step out there and, like, test yourself and see what you really got, what you really bringing to the table. But they have been wanting this fight for years. Now, I have my own gripes with Gervonta Tank Davis and his reluctantness to actually step out there and challenge himself. But when you compare the level of competition, Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Isak Cruz, I mean, come on, Gamboa. And I mean, Gamboa ain't no world beater, especially not at the time when Gervonta Tank Davis fought him, but he's far better than 97% of the guys that Ryan Garcia has been in the ring with. So that right there proves my entire point and the difference between the level of competition from Ryan Garcia and his peers. It's day and night, and is extremely disappointing. So when Ryan Garcia comes out and say, hey, I want to fight Tank Davis, when this is like your third or fourth opportunity to do so, do you really believe him? Do you believe that Ryan Garcia actually has the confidence now? Is he still dealing with the mental issues and the trauma and the lack of self-belief? Because that's what I think it is. I think it's a lack of self-belief. You got all this flair and this flash on Instagram, you know what I'm saying, and doing videos with celebrities and shit like that, but do you really believe that shit? We know Instagram ain't shit. Social media in and of itself ain't shit but a facade for 99% of the motherfuckers that get up on her and say something. You know what I'm saying? Or post a picture of themselves. This shit ain't nothing but a facade. Motherfuckers will paint a whole picture of their life and make you think this what it really is. Whole time life miserable as hell. They really not living like that. You know what I'm saying? They really not having things like that. They really not having no peace. They really not having no success and no prosperity. You know what I'm saying? They really not no good person. You feel what I'm saying? They really not living like that. So that I don't believe in that shit. And obviously that Instagram shit ain't equating to dollars. In the terms of boxing, it's not equating to ticket sales, pay-per-views, huge paychecks for your purse, your guaranteed purses in boxing. That shit not adding up for Ryan Garcia. So I don't believe that shit. I don't believe nothing that Ryan Garcia say out his mouth until he show me. And I'm not saying that Ryan Garcia can't beat Tank. Obviously, I favor Tank Davis. And I favor Devin Haney. And I favor a Shakur Stevenson. And I favor a Telefimo Lopez over Ryan Garcia. And I favor a Vasily Lomachenko over Ryan Garcia. Obviously, I do. But I think all of those fights are winnable fights for Ryan Garcia based off of his raw ability and skill set. But does Ryan Garcia believe that? You dig what I'm saying? Do you believe Ryan Garcia when he say he want to fight the best now? You know what I'm saying? He still don't want no smoke with Devin Haney. He not even mentioning him. He got Bernard Hopkins coming out here saying belts don't matter. That Undisputed is something to sneeze at now just because his fighter didn't claim that status. You dig what I'm saying? So question is, man, do you believe Ryan Garcia? I don't. I'm going to give you my answer right off top in the title. I don't believe Ryan Garcia at all until he show me. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender regime, boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.